You know that feeling like you're living in this totally fragmented world? It's like over here you've got science, and over there you've got spirituality, and they just seem to be at war. Or you have this intense focus on individual success, but then it's clashing with this urgent need for, ecological sanity. It can feel, it can feel impossible to make sense of it all. So what we're going to do here is lay out a map to help navigate that exact fragmentation.
All right, so here's the plan. We're going to kick things off with the problem, then jump into the solution Ken Wilber offers. After that, we'll break down the core pieces of his integral map. We're talking the 4 fundamental views, the whole spiral of growing up, the journey of waking up, and then the big one, how to actually put this stuff into practice in your own life.
So, what's the big problem with our modern world? Well, according to the philosopher Ken Wilber, it's that we've kind of lost our depth. It's like we've taken this rich, multi-dimensional reality and just squashed it flat. We've started denying these incredible vertical dimensions of life, and instead, we're just living in a world of surfaces.
Yeah, he has a great name for this worldview. He calls it Flatland. And in Flatland, the only things that are considered real are the things you can see and measure from the outside, objective stuff. So all those incredibly important interior experiences, we're talking about love, meaning, purpose, even spiritual insights, they get dismissed. They're just subjective fluff. Or even worse, they're reduced to nothing more than chemical reactions in your brain.
And this flatland view, it creates these massive, massive divides. You see it everywhere, right? There's this constant battle. On one side, you have what you could call the ego camp, all about individual freedom, rights, scientific progress. And on the other side, you've got the eco camp, which is all about our connection to the web of life, the collective, our responsibilities. Now there's the kicker. Both of these camps are holding on to a piece of the truth. But in Flatland, they don't see that. They just see each other as enemies. They're at war, instead of being 2 essential parts of a much bigger picture.
So what's the way out of this? This is where it gets really interesting. The solution Wilber proposes isn't about picking a side. It's not about ego versus eco. It's about getting a better map, a more comprehensive map. He calls it an integral operating system. Think of it like a major software upgrade for your worldview. It's a system that actually honors and includes the partial truths from all sides and helps us navigate this crazy complex world with a lot more wisdom and a lot more skill.
Okay, so the most fundamental building block of this map is a concept called the holon. It sounds fancy, but the idea is actually super simple. A holon is something that is a whole thing in itself, and at the same time, it's a part of something bigger. I mean, just think about it for a second. An atom is a whole, right? But it's also a part of a molecule. A molecule is a whole, but it's part of a cell. A cell is a whole, but it's part of you. The entire universe is just made up of these nested whole/parts. Everything is a holon.
All right, so let's get into the first key component of this integral map and see how it all builds from that idea of the holon. It turns out that any holon, and remember, that means literally anything, a person, an idea, a society, can be looked at from 4 fundamental perspectives. Wilber calls these the 4 quadrants, and they are, without a doubt, the foundation of the whole system. So here's how it works, and it's actually pretty elegant. Wilber says you can look at anything using 2 really basic distinctions, from the inside or from the outside, and as an individual or as part of a collective. Now when you cross those 2 distinctions, boom, you get 4 essential perspectives. The individual interior, or I, the collective interior, or we, the individual exterior, or it, and the collective exterior, or its. Let's break down exactly what that means. First up, we've got the I quadrant. This is your inner world, simple as that. It's the realm of your private thoughts, your feelings, your hopes, your fears, your intentions. It's the world of art, of poetry, of your own direct experience. It's totally personal, and the only way anyone else can know it is if you choose to share it. But of course, our individual I doesn't exist in a vacuum, right? It's always shaped by a we. This is the world of shared culture, of the language we speak, of our mutual values. It's the invisible background that gives our lives meaning. I mean, it's the only reason a handshake means hello instead of I'm going to attack you. It's that shared understanding that connects us all. Okay, now let's shift from the inside to the outside view. This is the it quadrant. This is you as an object. Think of it as what a scientist or a doctor sees when they look at you. It's your brain, your body, your hormones, all your measurable behaviors. This is the world of hard science, of data, of empirical observation. And finally, there's the collective exterior, the its quadrant. These are the systems and structures that we all live in.
We're talking about things like the economy, our government and legal systems, traffic patterns, technology, the ecosystem itself. Now here's Wilber's really powerful point. To truly understand anything, whether it's yourself, a relationship, or a global problem, you absolutely have to look at it from all four of these perspectives. If you leave one out, your understanding is incomplete. Okay, so now that we have these four fundamental views, we can finally add back that vertical dimension, the very thing that Flatland misses. See, we don't just exist in these four quadrants, we develop through them. And this developmental journey, this upward climb, is what Wilber calls growing up. And it's really important to know that it unfolds in predictable, sequential stages.
And what's amazing is that developmental psychologists have studied this across countless cultures, and they found a really clear pattern. Our circle of who we care about, it tends to expand over our lifetime. We start out at a very egocentric stage, where it's all about me and my needs. Then we expand to an ethnocentric stage, where our identity is with our group, our team, our nation. It's all about us. And if we keep growing, we can reach a world-centric stage, where our compassion and concern extends to all of us, to all human beings, no matter their race, religion, or nationality.
But then, something really incredible can happen. After that world-centric stage, a truly radical transformation is possible. The researcher Claire Graves called it a momentous leap, a leap into what's now known as second-tier consciousness. And here's what's so revolutionary about it. This is the first time you can look back and see the entire spiral of development, and you can appreciate that every single stage before it, egocentric, ethnocentric, all of them, has a vital and necessary role to play in the whole beautiful mess.
Okay, but growing up through these stages is only half the story. It's only one dimension of our human potential. There's a whole other journey, and that's the path of waking up. This isn't about moving up a ladder over time. It's about exploring the different states of consciousness that are available to every single one of us right here, right now.
Now, this is a super important distinction to get. Growing up is about stages. These are like permanent structures you build over time. You earn them, and you can't skip levels. Waking up, on the other hand, is about states. States of consciousness are always available. You can have a profound temporary peak experience, a waking up moment, no matter what stage of growing up you're at.
And this isn't some new idea. The world's great wisdom traditions have been mapping these states for thousands of years. A simple way to think about it is this. There's our normal, everyday, waking reality, which they'd say is tied to our physical or gross body. Then there's a subtle body. This is the realm of vivid dreams, deep meditation, powerful visions, those moments of peak emotion. And then, even deeper than that, is the causal body. This is that vast, formless silence you might touch in deep, dreamless sleep. It's considered the very ground, the source of consciousness itself.
So what's the ultimate destination on this path of waking up? Well, it's often called non-dual awareness, or one taste. And what that means is a direct, undeniable realization that the feeling of being a separate you inside your head, looking out at a separate universe, is, well, it's an illusion. It's like that famous Zen saying, when the bell rings, there's no separate me hearing a separate bell, there is just the ringing. And in that one moment, in that one sound, is the entire cosmos.
Okay, so we've got this incredible, comprehensive map of reality. But what do we actually do with it? How do we use it? Well, this isn't just some abstract philosophical theory. It's designed to be a practical guide for your own transformation. And the application of this whole framework is known as Integral Life Practice, or ILP for short.
And honestly, the best way to think about ILP is like cross-training, but for your consciousness. You wouldn't go to the gym and only work out your right bicep, right? The goal is to touch all the bases to ensure balanced growth. So this includes practices for your body, like exercise and nutrition. For your mind, studying maps just like this one to expand your perspective. For your spirit, things like meditation or prayer to help you wake up. And so crucially, it also includes shadow work. That's the courageous process of looking at the parts of ourselves we've pushed away or denied, so that we can bring them back and become more whole, more integrated people.
So in the end, that's what this integral map really is. It's an invitation. It's an invitation to stop looking at the world and at yourself through just one single partial lens. It asks us, it challenges us to open all of our eyes, to see our own inner depths, to understand our shared culture, to take care of our physical bodies, and to be aware of the systems we live in. The question it leaves us with is a big one. Are you viewing the world with just one eye, or are you willing to develop an integral vision?